Hello, everybody, and welcome to the podcast by tritechx.com. This is our first episode, and this podcast will be featuring podcast startup founders from mainly from America. So you guys know what it's like, right there in Silicon Valley. People who have started their own startups have been involved in one or worked at one. And our first guest is Kaderjan right here. Kaderjan, can you give us a little bit of intro about yourself, about your professional life?
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, thanks for inviting me to the podcast. Yes. So yeah, my professional background is more engineering. So I've been in
Yeah.
industry for 15 plus years, but I've been actually even more that I've been entrepreneur for very very long time. I always have some running multiple businesses on the side. So after working for almost close to 2 decades, and thank God, so I was able to kind of walk away from my very good paying job. I want to do something to help, you know, boost the success of a new entrepreneur. So I can share a little bit more on this one, but in short version, this is it. So yeah.
Yeah. Last time I remember the first time we talked, you said how much you love business, and you can't just stop thinking about it, and that's what I really liked about you. I remember you thought it's just in your thoughts, like how we gonna do this, the numbers and everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's really yeah.
Yeah, okay, again, I'm very excited to share about this one, is because I'm really passionate about it. Uh,
Yeah.
but I just didn't come easy. It's a lot of trial and error, and connecting the dots, look back in the dot, and find out. Okay, this is a area I wanna contribute my effort in the future. Because this entrepreneurship got me to today. And I think a lot of more entrepreneurs should able to have also similar opportunity. Because
Yeah.
I have a I have a page of kind of share my story. What I'm really kind of passionate about from my childhood. I'm very curious guy, curious about what is this God given us can do. I have tried a lot of things. Because the one way to get us most is just kind of personal development, right? You know, but even higher than that, right? Uh, Look back that I'm more alive, and I feel like all my strengths being kind of used, from head to toe, is in my entrepreneurship journey. So as I think you agree, when you're working for for a company, you only use sort of like using because you got hired just for specific you know uh, role, right? But when you're an entrepreneur, you really use your skill from head to toe. You agree with me. You have experience. You're
Yeah.
building business, right? So so your relationship, your skill, all got to kind of shine. So
Yeah.
that's why I said, see, everyone is unique. God created everyone very uniquely, right? And we all have different strengths, right? And why don't we live up to our full potential, right? So, and entrepreneurship is a very good vehicle, to really get a vehicle, to help you live with your full potential, live to your best. I know it's not easy, but you got to see what you can do, what you're cut for, So yeah.
Oops, we are having some.
Uh, uh, hold on. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes, yes.
and you can hear, right? Like I said, entrepreneurship is exciting in a way that few people can, think. And I also think that it's not for everybody.
Yes. I agree.
And those who have it, they do, and they and all the time they think about it, and their brain just doesn't stop working there. And like you said, and I've read about curiosity as one of the traits which are important for startup founders. I've read about it a lot on Twitter, on websites such as YC's blogs from Paul Graham and
Yeah.
other VCs. Curiosity is one of the main if not the most important characteristics for founders or for entrepreneurs. Like that's how you get to know about so many different things. Otherwise, like you said, an entrepreneur has to do everything, like
Yes,
from product to from sales, managing teams, and you just don't get to do that by working at a role in a company all your life.
yes,
You know, so
yes.
absolutely when you say,
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm amazed for the salesmanship. It's not because a lot of people hate salesmen, but I'm amazed by a lot of salesmen, especially very ethical salesmen. Right, the way they can shares our vision, get your buy-in, and all that. Right, so that excites me. And that you're right. I mean, the curiosity. So all those things. Those because at the heart we are engineering, right? But we try to figure out why certain things, how does things work, why things work in this way and all that, right? So yes, curiosity is a big drive. A lot of the people, creating like a big empire, very successful business, they are no different than you and I, you know,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
absolutely,
yes, that's why it's like you are they're no different than you. That's why we can look at how can we get towards the same success as they have. All right, so let's uh, let's learn. Fail, learn. Just keep more progress. So that curiosity, keep you going. You're right. I mean, that's why uh, Winston Churchill has said one quote. I like it so much. It's uh, uh, I forgot what exact quote, but what basically is saying, is the passion is about, you know, you you keeping the same enthusiasm after after keep failing, So yeah, don't I need to say it correctly, but just you don't lose your excitement
yeah,
with a failure. You just take it as a learn, and the thought process is super important. I got to learn this many years because I loved reading about business development books and all that, right? So personal development, we have some things very powerful. Our thought process is basically
yeah,
interpreter of our thoughts. Our self talk. What's it saying to you, right? Some people, let's say, lost job, saying, "Hey, all I lost job." But some people
yeah.
say, "No, now I get work on a new job." Some people,
This may
like
open door for something better.
exactly, exactly. I think Edison, right, lost the whole laboratory get burned down. He said, "Oh, now I get a chance to kind of create a new one and all that." So this mindset is very kind of very powerful things, but a lot of time we get ignored on this, right? That's why, um, yeah, one of the key things in entrepreneurship journey is having the very positive mindset, and that interpretation should serve you, to keep moving forward.
Yeah, just you just mentioned the mindset, and I just a few days back somebody had said about Elon Musk that he's the greatest entrepreneur of all time, and he had replied to that tweet saying that it is so because he has a high pain threshold, because
Mhm.
whatever ventures he is doing, SpaceX and Tesla, and you must know about this recent
Yes.
SpaceX
Yeah.
launch. That yeah, he's able to do this because he has high pain threshold. And what does that mean? It simply means not taking failures to your heart. I mean, not giving up just because you failed.
Yeah, and also don't give too much, care about what other people are saying. Not that very arrogantly, but
Yeah, yeah,
especially
yeah.
this baseless judgment, basically.
Yeah, because
Yes.
every other person has biases. Their approach is viewing things from their own perspectives. What they have must have experienced there in life, but and it doesn't need to necessarily apply to you.
Absolutely. Honestly speaking, yes, this is something I have to overcome also, right? Because I had
Me too. Me too.
since,
Yeah,
since then I had a very, you know, I would say I didn't have too much, let's say, downtime because I had my from get go. I had a good major software engineering. My bachelor was software engineering, and not long after I worked in the Fortune 500 companies. Actually, all my companies like for Citigroup, SAP, the main thing, right? The main company, right? So I had a good, jobs, good paying job, all those things. But a lot of people that's in my similar station, they have some sort of lifestyle already, right? So now they don't want to go down, because there are
Yeah.
sometimes you have to make a sacrifice, So my life is good, and go down is my friend, my circle will not have a different opinion about me, and all that
Yeah.
stuff, right? So
What's
I
everybody gonna say when they think I sold my car or we just downgraded our house? Yeah, exactly.
exactly, exactly. The good thing is so this mindset here is that uh, people as long as they have have some base, have some proofs. There's a legit, you have to listen as an entrepreneur. You all have to listen because everyone's kind of your customer, right? You have to listen to what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
Listen, but not listen to some comments that people never done it.
Yeah.
And that's their life. We don't want to spend your whole life to leaving somebody's on somebody people's opinion, right? So.
No.
I think that's why, in this way, Elon Musk doing very well. You don't care,
Yeah.
what other people are
Correct.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
He has his own way. I mean, he doesn't listen to anybody. I
More.
think
I would say more
even
liberate. Get more
yeah,
liberation, from this. Yeah,
yeah. Even I think he doesn't listen to people who are experts on the subject matter either. I mean, he just
yeah.
goes about it on his own. Yeah.
Yes.
So I do have some agenda. I mean, I have
Sure. Sure.
have some questions. Kader, I was looking on your. First of all, I have to clear this out. You corrected me on email to it's Kader or Kaderjan.
Kaderjan, yes. Yeah.
Because here in Pakistan, a lot of people have named Kader. So my first instinct was just a Kader, but you did corrected me on the email and say it's Kaderjan.
Yes. In my culture, I'm a Uyghur, right? In my culture, the John is part of it, right? And the Qadr is name of attribute of a God, Allah, right? So,
Yeah.
and you can't just use the attribute as is. You have to add a little something, is as Abdul or John at the end, right? So that's
Yeah,
why
yes,
mine's
yes, exactly. We say Abdul Kader here, and Jan
yes,
means deer, and
yes,
Jan means deer here. So
yeah.
deer Kader, it's like that.
But in my culture, John is more like a life or toughness, That's why this is a suffix was mostly for men's name,
Oh no, you said correct. Jan has two names here, two meanings
yes,
here. Jan, of course, it's life, and we also say it to our beloved ones, like
yes,
the people say it to their wives or to like dear ones like dear.
yes, yes,
Yeah. So Kader, last time, Kader Jan, last
yes.
time we talked, you did mention you belonging to a southern part of China, as you mentioned, yogurt. So, did you migrate here in your childhood, or did your parents, when you were born in America?
Yeah. No, I immigrated to US about 18 years ago. Yes,
Okay,
about 17, 18 years ago. Yeah, 17
you
years
were
ago.
quite old. You were quite old by then.
Yeah, I was like a 24-ish, Yeah.
On
So,
your own, alone, or with family?
yes, I'm alone. I came here to study about my computer science as a
Okay,
master, right? So since then, I just, yeah, because
paid off.
my dream is always want to come to Silicon Valley, So, yeah,
We could say it paid off.
yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I must ask you this: you're in the San Francisco Bay Area, and you've lived there from the start. Never moved
Yeah.
places.
So yeah, I spent 90%. I spent a lot of time in, in Midwest. We call it like Iowa, right? So,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, but most of my time is here. So I just stayed there for several months, and then after I got my first job uh, in San Francisco. Yeah, so then I just since then I'm just settled down here. Yeah.
Yeah, and most of your professional life you've been affiliated with SAP.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I gotta ask you this. I mean, is it true that like wherever you go in San Francisco, everybody is working with startups or involved in some kind of technology space? Or no,
Yeah.
that's hearsay.
I mean, that's exaggeration, but there was some base to it too. Because, uh, when I first came to from the US, one of my professor uh, back at home, he came over. It's just like a year or after second year when I came here, and he said, "You know what? I'm coming to U.S. San Francisco. I'm meeting a good author. I think he
Mm.
wrote the network protocol 8010, and there's the wireless network protocol."
Yeah.
He said, uh, "I because my professor is like network, like from the computer science department. He's a he teaches here, right? So he said, I'm gonna I was going to U.S. and I happened to book a time with this author of the book, and I'm coming. You should come by too." I said, "Really? The author's here?" He said, "Yeah, sure." So I came. I met with him, had a little coffee. The guy came in with a kind of like a scooter. This also came by like a regular guy, and and uh, and he was just because I don't know too much about the network protocols because I'm mostly my thing is more like a application development, right? So then I was like zero talking, and I was like amazing, so actually then the more I found out that actually there's a lot of expert around us,
Yeah.
and as there is there's a specific place, let's say in a Palo Alto where there's the program from right. It's
Yeah.
just like a half hour drive from and a 40 minutes from driving from my home right now. So
Mm.
there's the coffee shop. There's a lot of people talk about startup. I think more founder oriented kind of a startup, and the Stanford is right there, right?
Yeah.
Stanford produces so many entrepreneurs. So and there is a street called Sand Hill in Palo Alto. This is all this investors are from. They're very famous for a lot of investors coming from there. That's why
Yeah.
this environment is
Yeah.
is
Exactly.
different. Even I went to Stanford. They have this bookstore. You think it's just simple bookstore, right? They have a like second floor. Second floor is one day I was talking about, and the people kind of on laptop showing, making presentation, all those things, sharing the idea, all the stuff. Actually, my first startup that I worked on, I was partnered with a Stanford student. So we met one of the coffee shop too there too. So that environment is different because all this expert coming here. So it's the density of this talent. The expert
Yeah.
is I think is a lot higher. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's any other place like San Francisco when it comes to technology and startups. I gotta ask you this question: who's the most famous person you've met in San Francisco? I mean, just randomly met on your way to
Yeah.
somewhere,
That closely, right? Oh,
or even see that you didn't meet him, you just saw him.
yeah. I always like to join. This. So actually, I just recently I met. I was very close distance. I went to a conference like it's just like a month ago, January. You know, all this Robert, from Shark Tank, this guys,
Okay.
and
Okay.
Gary. There's all those guys. Just have few hundred millions, and also actually, I actually there's a one brother from our community. So he sold his company. I had a close talk with him, and I was able to get him on my LinkedIn, add to my LinkedIn that he sold his company for 300 million,
Okay.
uh, so yeah, honestly speaking, and I can't right now just think of everyone I met, but I met a lot of people from the founder of JavaScript. Uh,
Oh,
uh, yeah, I'm just thinking, did I miss Steve Jobs or no? So one of the this developer conference because they're having in San Francisco, So
yeah.
yeah, I used to go to a lot of those conferences. So yeah,
So you did meet Steve Jobs. You saw him.
so no, I can't remember. So because since pandemic, and since I moved to like a little bit far from the city, before my I live more closer, but later with the family I moved a little bit far, but it's still like an hour distance. But I think I met a lot of people, also. But I'm saying there's one. recently I met those guys are very high profile people. Joe
Yeah.
Montana, one of the best, let's say, one of the best baseball uh, player, and
I
who
may
has
have
a
heard of it. I don't know
yeah,
about baseball,
who has
baseball,
a
but heard of that.
actually a lot of this I mean sportsmen, right? They have a lot of companies.
Yeah.
They just
Right.
Joe Montana came down on stage like in January, right? I was learning from them, learning from him is that he has so many companies.
Yeah. The athletes, especially the ones who get paid a lot, they invest in a lot of companies, whether it's angel investments or and they make friends with other investors and they invest in a lot of companies. Yeah.
Exactly, so yeah. So,
Yeah.
I think most famous one was this the one the recent one is the Gary Vaynerchuk and Robert Heroic, from Shark Tank, and their story is amazing, how they came by very humble beginning, and now they made an icon in this entrepreneurship in the business
Yeah.
world, so it's amazing, yeah,
Yeah, Gary Vee is famous for that. So
yeah.
I got to ask some questions now because you did say you weren't that busy a bit. So and I respect that. So yeah, let's talk about fundraising because we can't talk about startups and not talk about fundraising. Is
Mm,
funding necessary,
mm.
especially with external VCs or not? Can you bootstrap a company to a success to millions of dollars in revenue?
I think it's possible, possible because here's things, right? A lot of people actually, I was, because I'm in the space of helping entrepreneur, right? A lot of time we talk to a lot of founders, aspiring founders who started a
Yeah.
company. I talk to them, what's their obstacle? The moment, okay, first time about founders, the moment, many of them, funding is a problem.
Yeah.
Uh, so what have you done? I have this idea, but funding is a problem. If I have money, I can work on it. So, but no, actually you need to bootstrap. I think this should be done like this for all of them, actually, for all startup. I mean, this is kind of my theory, but you need to bootstrap a little bit, at least show that you're capable. I mean, the idea is valid, right? You can execute on this, and there's a market need for it, right? I mean, you can't. I mean, so this. Actually, I found that we're providing people a step like guide, but from validating the idea. I mean, especially in this in software space, right? Hardware, I mean, a little bit different, but in the software space, you can do a lot. What I'm saying, you can get your initial, like adopters, and this idea validated with a little money. Even though you don't have money, but I think you can what I'm saying, you can get you don't have to spend a lot of money to get the initial work done, so have some solid ideas, you can get it done. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when we first talked, this was my thinking too. And you did said about this. Forget about funding for right now. Whatever little money you have, try to get that idea validated and go into
Mm.
market. Talk to customers. Do not talk to investors first. You talk to customers first. Yeah.
Exactly, get the customer. So even and also I have a lot of mentors, the one of the mentor shared with me in the past experience that actually that's in the past also that oh, I had same thing, I want to get this app build and all that stuff. He said all you need is PowerPoint, literally PowerPoint. Yes, hey, this is a feature, this is a feature. You can get Figma, get some screenshot put together, oh, okay, so this is going to be ready, we have this, we're working on this. This is not lying, that's why you have to use English very well. We're working on this, right? It's not lying. Even you think about it, that's not, you're not lying. I'm working on it, right? I'm working on it. We're planning to launch it in a certain time, a
Yeah.
month or 2 months down the road, right?
Ah, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's
Nothing.
just
I mean, this is not, it's not lying. So I mean, you are working on it, right? So and just if the people like to buy, especially or to pay for it, let's say it's $100 a month, for SaaS, for example, a seat. Now you say, you know what? If you get it right now, I have I can give you for $20, right?
Yeah.
This money is not a problem. Even you say we are ready right now, we have everything launched. Can you pay? If you pay right now, I'll give you access tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
As long as people pay you, you can refund the money back to them right away. Say, sorry, I'm just making an experiment. We're not
Yeah. Yeah.
ready. But from this, what do you validate? It means if you can deliver what you are promised, people are willing to pay. You at least verified you validated this part of it.
Yeah.
You got it right.
And
So
that's the important part. I mean,
that's
but
the important
that's what
part.
investors want to. If you have paying customers, yeah, I mean, most of the problem is there. You have already solved. You have found product market fit. If you have paying customers.
Exactly. So again, the paying means that not not you got the money, right? Like what I was saying earlier, right? So let's say you told I saw your this is your problem, this is our solution, and
Yeah.
if you pay right now, you can collect payment from type form, you can collect payment from PayPal, send a link or something. People are going to pay for it, right? Pay it, and because you're not ready,
Yeah.
but say I'll give you access tomorrow, right? And you charge them, they want to pay for you, and sorry, we're just making experiment. Thanks for interest, but we can let you know when we're ready to kind of give it to you, right? So, but you at least understood that if you can deliver this, let's say you get 10 transactions like this, and you can put on the pitch deck. I have 10 people willing to pay. They made the payment. I just refund them, right? You don't have the money. You don't have to have to keep the money, right? But this you validated. That's exactly what Tesla did too, right? I mean, Tesla did it
Yeah.
too. So, have them, this the prototype, right? So, and they said we can launching in like in 2 years, and this is a price, and this is a feature, all that. So we all know that they don't have. I
It
mean,
was for Cybertruck, I guess. I mean, they launched in 2018, took money from almost, I think, $50,000 were the upfront payment. I think a lot of people paid for it and launched. They said they were going to launch 2 years later. Launched, I guess, 5, 6 years. I mean, they launched last year, I guess. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and
They
so
didn't refund the money right away, but yeah, they
no,
did
no.
deliver the
Actually,
product.
you don't have to.
Promise.
You don't. I mean, I also have my reservation with them. So, so no, they don't charge you like a full amount. They charge like 1,000. I had a multiple reservation, so even the Model S or Model 3 was launched. They just
Yeah.
charge you $1,000, right? So they can deliver in 2 years, but they didn't deliver in 2 years. But they said after 2 years, they said, you know what? So we can't deliver. We can't deliver. If you want to take your money back, we can refund you. Did I? Did it hurt our feeling? Little bit, but I'm not. Because they communicated well. But so yeah, we cannot deliver.
You trust the company.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they got the idea validated,
Yeah.
right? What if they did all the shows? Uh, did this did the show and to make reservation, and they only had like a 50. I don't know. I'm just saying 50,000 or a very small number of
Yeah.
reservation. This is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. So it's not worth it. So you just cut it.
There's no
Just say,
right away, but there's no market demand. There's no market pull. People don't need it. Yeah.
exactly. Because actually the business do it all the time. Like so Google has 800 product.
Yeah. How many
You
then
and
do
I,
they make money?
you and
Yeah.
I only know like 20 or maybe maximum 10, 20. We just know this Google product. But actually they have 800 product. They just launch it, you know, test it. It doesn't work. So I think the startup is all about experiment. And and the other things, this experiment doesn't stop. It just continuous. It's not like okay at some point, oh, okay, relax. No,
Yeah.
continuous. Yes.
I loved how you did this. It's done now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a continuous process.
Yeah.
Next question, and this is an important one. Does ideas mean anything? I mean, the people get overly protective of their ideas.
No.
No, man.
No.
No,
No.
they don't mean anything.
No. Actually, yes. I get this question a lot. People, because here are things. You give the idea, so you take it. Take the idea. To do it. First of all, you just even you give it. People say you want an apple. Some people say yes. Some people say no. Even the simple thing, not people. Even with the simple thing, people are not gonna 100% agree with you anyway, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let alone the startup idea, right? It's just not gonna just gonna grow on its own, because you have to build it, right? Execution, execution is I would say everything. I mean, what need to be protected is it's not idea itself, like general idea. It's not the idea itself, but it's some specific like algorithm.
Yeah.
Something
Specific and
proprietary. Something you can do this, but
unique.
like in terms of big business ideas, so we want to improve, well, let's say Uber, they have some algorithm in proper, but we want to help people, connecting just a rider and the driver and all that stuff, right? So what is this to steal from this? This is idea, but how you're doing it is different, So yeah,
Absolutely.
and I want to add one more thing because this is my important, right? I think new founder should start speaking about their idea earlier. It's kind of validation. It's the moment you get an idea, kind of try to speak to a few people, see how they react,
Mm.
right? As a reaction is a initial validation. Let's see if I tell you some idea and oh, this is good, and people talk, or some have different reaction, right? So then you get some like a first level of uh, first level kind of validation, how this idea is, right?
Some
So
feedback. Yeah.
yeah, you should speak about your ideas, earlier on, not over protecting it, So yeah.
Is software getting saturated, especially with AI, automating a lot of the part of the, coding? And so is software or SaaS, software service, getting saturated? Is that the market for that getting saturated?
Yes, short answer is yes. Uh, but as because but so yeah, software getting, I think yes. Short answer is essentially yes, and it's very extremely difficult to come up. It's a very not authentic, good
Unique.
ideas, different no, the ideas, but there is a one good framework. I love it so much. It's called job to be done framework.
Okay.
So this is Christian Klein. I think is a Harvard professor. He came up. It was his team. He came up with this framework called job to be done. So is that any product we're using, actually we're hiring them to get the certain job done, right? And this job done is beautiful in ways that. So I give you example. Uh, they say the map and Google Map, they're doing exactly the same thing. Give people show navigation, right? So at the end of the job, the core part of it is show people navigate, give people direction, how to get things. But only difference is the only difference is this that go to the core is two things: is accuracy is and speed.
Yeah.
So all the solution you put together, you can come down to improving two things, accuracy and speed.
Yeah.
So with this framework, you go down really deep to find out what does the customer hiring this product to do. For example, one thing very interesting, they say uh, people, let me just say, so people come to shop for get the hammer.
Yeah.
Ask them instead of just saying people shop for hammer. Instead of just give them, develop a hammer, design a hammer, ask them, what do you do with a hammer? I said,
Yeah.
I'm putting, I'm putting, I'm a, I'm just gonna fix my light on the wall, right? So, yeah, that's not a good example. But what I'm saying is, so then ask them why you want to fix a light on the wall. So at the end, they're looking for the light easily attachable on the wall,
Yeah.
right? You should go to the really core of what they're trying to do. Try to hammer to do. You know,
This could
people
be very related with customer feedback too. Customers don't really know what they want. You just gotta listen to their problem and come up with your own solution. How you're gonna solve that problem. Yeah,
exactly ask them what they want to do. That's how they know, right?
yeah,
How they know. So that's why there's the famous quote in this book is saying, people buying a drill not to just not just buying it just the sake of drilling a hole.
yeah,
They want a hole. They just wanted a hole.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they just want to have
exactly.
a hole on the
They don't
wall.
want to buy a drill. They want to. You can say they don't want to buy a drill. They want to buy a hole. They
Exactly. They
they
want to have
just
a
want
hole
holes
on
in
the
their.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So that's what we have to get
Really
down to
good.
the really core. In this way, that's why Elon Musk. One thing I learned so much in this way is the first principle of thinking. You
Yeah,
get down to the really bottom. So like we'll talk about the regular the paper map, the Google map, Apple map, all that's a gazillion app ways and all the map. At the end, their function is same, but
yeah,
the Google and other like Apple Map and all that, they just do it faster and more accurate. Save.
yeah.
So
More conveniently and just in a better and faster way. Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Next question: is learning to code still worth it? Mm. A lot of people who are not in in this computer science or related to technology field, they are pondering with the idea: should we learn to code? So, what do you think? Is learning to code still worth it in 2024, especially with the speed which
No,
AI?
you don't. But I mean, it's a if you build a technology company, I think it's good to learn a little bit. How it works. High level. But right now, more than ever, we have a lot of resources. No code platform, right?
Yeah,
The idea is to launch it fast, right? I mean, any idea. I mean, of course, this is gonna go to different topic. That you need to define your MVP very well. Again, get to the really core, like what you're actually solving, what you're with MVP, right? So you say when we say MVP, you need to find out what is really this value you're adding to the customer, right? So of course, with this all, I'm just hypothetically saying, right? So we're about even launching an Uber, right? You just want to connect the two party, right? The rider
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
the taxi driver. You want to, I mean, the car owner. You want to connect them, right?
You could
What
say
is
that learning to code for its own sake, it's getting the rewards are getting very lower. But if you have a
yes,
very
exactly,
specific problem you want to solve, I mean, all of the technology companies which became big, uh, they did not become big because there was code behind them. I mean, they solved a really specific problem which a lot of people happen to have, and of course
yeah,
that
yeah,
worked for them.
exactly. So because when you start code, it means you kind of focus on solution. No, we
Yeah.
should not focus on solution. We focus on the problem. Actually, we should love falling in love with the problem rather than the solution.
And,
Actually, yeah,
even now, if you just go what is actually coding, I've read a lot about coding, and it boils down to problem solving. That's the core purpose of coding.
exactly. And the code is evolving, and there's a code, for I think 1,000 plus code. There's a different program language right now. There's maybe more
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
So and each coding program language solves do well, perform well in certain domain.
yeah, yeah.
So if problem evolves, you have to keep changing. So you can learn all of them. So that's why I think it's better learn and focus on the problems. How to find whatever you have. You know to solve the people's problem. That's kind of that's investing. Time is more, but you get better return of your investment. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this, people are just finding out how highly paid software engineers are, and they're just waking up to this idea. Maybe we should learn to code, and that's how we get to that part of the salary range. But they're getting it wrong, and especially at a very, very wrong time in 2024. That too. I mean, if they would have figured it out 10 years earlier, 5 years earlier, maybe. But now it's
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
situation
Unless
that
you
they
want to be software engineer, right? So, yeah.
yeah. If they just want to be software engineers, cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
What do you? I'm going a little bit off track. What do you think about this Devin? This the product from Cognition. Did you heard about it? Did you read about it, Devin?
Which one? Oh, sorry, Devin.
Okay, there's a company Cognition AI,
Uh,
and they released their first product. They're saying it's the world's first AI software engineer,
hmm.
and they have named it Devin. It said it was something related to computer vision or something like that, and they got accepted for that job, and they asked their AI software engineer Devin to do it, and it completely all by itself. There was no human in the loop.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and that must have freaked a lot of people out. I mean, especially junior developers. I mean, oh,
Yeah. So
dude,
I like the analogy that one of another people that I respect a lot, in called Ray Dalio, is
yeah,
very successful, successful hedge fund manager. Also, yeah, he said he I like his analogy. He's just AI, ChatGPT and all this thing is great calculator. Actually, even in our development, we use a lot of ChatGPT. Here, actually, this things speed up things a lot faster, but you still have to know how it works under the hood. So, but
you
there's a
must
lot
have
of design.
at least a
Yes,
plausible answer.
yeah, there's a lot of design things. You still, I think, we still need to have, we still have long, we still have some time. Can
How
can
much?
well, robot 5-10 years. That's okay.
Five,
You know,
5, 10 years?
I'm not an expert in this, in specific in AI field. Based on the knowledge I have, that totally replacing the whole design architecture things uh, without human intervention. It's going to be take some time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Elon Musk is on his prediction, and he says AGI is coming by 2029. He says, and it will be intelligent from all the humans combined. It will be more intelligent than all the humans combined. You buy that?
I don't like this argument of about
It's Elon. It's Elon who is saying that.
yeah, it's okay. It doesn't matter who it is, but
Yeah.
intelligence. I have different philosophy on this one because just when I say intelligence, because this is go beyond the business building, all those things, is that one of the book I read it very early on that that really got me thinking is when I say intelligence, because maybe that's how I it stuck in my mind so deep that when I say people say intelligence, I don't only just say how's the computing and all the logical thinking. No, maybe. So do you know this? When baby was born, or no, when the baby is conceived, right? The first thing to check if this is if this valid pregnancy is by listening to the heartbeat. At that time the human brain is not formed.
Yes. Oh,
So so
I'm getting
so it's 20,
what
like
you're saying.
in 7 weeks, right? We say also around 7 weeks time we have a heartbeat, but we don't have a brain's not developed.
Yeah.
So they say heart has own intelligence, right?
Yeah.
So let's say now that like some beggar come to you to ask for money. Your mind say don't give, why you give him money?
Yeah,
to this
he can
person.
work hard for himself. Yeah, he's
Yes,
able.
but
Yeah,
heart say go, give money, right? So this intelligence is sometimes so heart has your own intelligence. I
yeah.
mean, this has become like a little philosophical thing. That's why, uh,
No, no, I totally understand what you're saying, what you're implying.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that part, the heart intelligence part, you can replace it very easily, So
yeah. It's the heart is always at war with the mind. Yeah, and at some things. Yeah, exactly, and that cannot be replaced. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so okay,
yeah. I
we
have
after
some more
this.
time. You can continue. Yeah.
Okay, I have some yes or no questions where you just say no, yes, and no. But there's one question before that I want to ask you. Uh,
Yeah.
what is that one thing that other people may disagree with you on, but you know that to be true? Like everybody around you would say, "Nah, Kaderjan, nah, I don't buy that," and you say, "No, I know that it's true." Yeah,
This
could be
is
anything.
zero. Yeah, zero to one's a Peter Thiel question, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. That's Peter Thiel's heuristic for finding out, great talent. He asked them,
Yeah. Hobby entrepreneurship is not worth it. People think.
no, people
I
think,
think
or you think.
no, 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 no. People think. I think differently. I think helping entrepreneurs is very rewarding. I know a lot of people don't agree with it. It's a very difficult space to be in.
Yeah.
You know. Uh, so yes, there's a gazillion different industry. Right? I've worked on fintech, real estate, all those
Yeah.
things, but the kind of fulfillment I'm not getting from I'm not getting from there. So I'm very. And I also run a nonprofit. For I've been 5 years, right? So for our cause, I founded that nonprofit. I have board members, and I'm very like a mission oriented kind of founders, right? So some things because building a startup is hard, very
Right.
difficult,
Very hard.
right? Sometimes it's really bring you down to the knees. You're like, why I'm doing this? My life was good.
Literally.
I was 8 hours, just go to office, do my work, drink coffee, and have fun with my coworker. Come back, hood, have fun with my kids. Easier. Why I do this? So you just think it's like it's because you have to so much. You have to learn so much, right? So, but the good thing is that one of the code I like it is that it's the highest paying reward for the effort. No, the highest reward for a man is not what you get out from it; it's what you become through it during the journey. Right? So
And you said,
yeah,
when other people say this to you, that entrepreneurship's not worth it. I love business. Yeah, I've been doing this at 16. But if anyone, if anybody were to ask me, is entrepreneurship worth it? I'd say no, because you really have to be crazy about it. you know
yes,
you know you there have been some nights where I've woken up at 3 4 a.m. and I and the first thought comes to me is about an idea that I would be thinking about, or man, I gotta wake up and do that.
yes,
And that only happens when you're obsessed with something.
yes,
But for other people who's just seeing all these things on social media about this and they only see the reward. To them I said, hell no. you know you lose a lot, and then you'll curse to anybody who recommended it to you, because
yeah.
entrepreneurship is very hard.
The good thing is, you have a mindset, with God's help, right? You can I can tackle any problem. So what I'm saying is, you you have no regret on it, right? So
Yeah,
I mean, as long
that's
as
the
you
main.
put effort with good intention, result will come. That's my belief. I believe. Some people are very methodical on this. This that the money, all very monetary things, but I think the cause more kind of more important for me, and that's really can keep you
Yeah,
keep you kind of fired up all the time. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, and when you're gonna sit, and I'm getting a bit, filmy right now. But when you look at the sun, and you're not gonna remember what car you bought or how much you have in bank account. You're just gonna
Yes.
remember the things you experienced. Man, I came out
Mm.
of that. I mean, I can't believe I did that. I went through
Yes,
that.
exactly. For some people, for like the people, the hustler, the like entrepreneur spirit person, they can't work a full time job. What I'm saying is they can't be like how to say they can't be just fixing one place and do certain things.
Or either they're working a job, they're having some side thing going on,
Exactly. It's
like you said
yeah.
earlier.
And recently, I was running one of the talk, and one of person asked this very successful entrepreneur just sold multiple companies, couple $100 million to other, So he said, "When do I? How do I know that it's time for me to quit? When should I quit do a full time job?" He didn't ask me, but he asking this person. He said, "You know, for this, it's like a woman before delivery, the water broke. You know it's coming. So for these people, it's when time is ready. You can't stop it. It's coming. So there's no way to. So when time comes, there's you can't stop that. So yeah,
Yeah, and you do it regardless of whatever the situation is. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Now we have some yes and no questions, and for every yes or no, you say you could give a reason. The one sentence, two
Sure,
sentence, three.
sure.
Okay. Speed is everything in startups.
No,
No.
no. I mean, do the right way. Otherwise, you can come back.
Yeah.
Do it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you correct your course at every wrong decision, does it still not matter? You could say it's important. I mean,
Yeah,
don't you
yeah.
think?
So because you are building up like a business. It takes kind of a long time. Of course, initial has kind of kind of acceleration, like a pushing, right? But I think doing it the right way. For example, because I'm talking about more like because right now our focus is more like a people technical founder who is starting startup, right? They can be very fast, launching their product, full blown, for 6 months, launch their app and all that stuff. But without some groundwork, just the speed. I mean, of course, again, speed up that part is fine too. But what I'm saying is speed, but make sure you also do it kind of don't cut the corner on something important,
Yeah.
fundamentals. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Polish it. Polish your work. I mean, yeah.
yeah.
Don't cut corners. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's complete. I understand that. That's correct. Okay. You need co-founders, or at least you need at least one co-founder to take up all the stress and all this emotional burden that comes with starting a startup. What do you think?
It will be great to get a co-founder.
Yeah.
Uh, I think everyone can get it. They should strongly encouraged, right? So there's some magic to this kind of co-founder things, the chance, of course, even a Y Combinator, for example, the
Yeah.
90% of their, get picked, get selected to their cohort is the one who has a co-founder, Uh, I think if you can get it, that's great. But you should be able to still push forward without it,
Yeah.
right? Uh, because what I'm saying, of course, step back again, initially it's better that you try to make some effort to make good amount of effort to get some co-founder. At least you're selling your ideas because later you're gonna have your self idea to a whole company, right? So start with selling to that same person. It's the same
Yeah.
as one person at least, So
I'm just gonna skip asking you a bit question, and I'm gonna add in a question.
new question.
Uh,
Okay.
I just thought of it right now. Is CEO a sales job?
Absolutely, Joe. Absolutely. Absolutely, So, so the marketing and sell is really the core,
Yeah,
right? Any businesses, marketing and sales is the core. Without it, it's not a business,
yeah,
right? And especially if you look at all this gurus, in Paul Graham and others, Steve Blank and all the people talk about it, and even this founder should you know be heavily involved or lead this whole initial customer discovery call,
mm.
validation, market research, all those things. Founder should lead it because I think one of
You
the core
cannot
things.
outsource sales. Yeah, you cannot
Yeah, because
outsource.
when the when let's say you did some prototype, whatever, the MVP, like you ask salespeople to sell it, and they come out with the feedback, you doubt that the salesman didn't do a good job to sell the idea, right? And when yeah, so it's better you listen as a founder should listen to that should listen to what customer feedback on their own, because they are decision founder is a decision maker, CEO is a decision maker, right?
Yeah,
They can make course correction, like what you said earlier, right? They can make course correction. They have authority to do the change, right? And it's issue it should better should listen to their customer feedback, on their own. And even CTO should have some form of salesmanship. Actually, they do
do you
because
think salesmanship just boils down to really communicating well, or no? It's more than that.
yeah, I mean, sales is like now becoming a bigger topic, but at least you can kind of convince, and share your idea as people get accepted. So
Yeah.
yeah, and also they're more like has to know, understand about business also, right? Because what I'm saying is when I say when technical make technical decision, also you have to think about you can't be like 100% bug free, for example, in technical software product, right? So you always have to keep that kind of threshold. One of my previous kind of colleague, he was CTO. He said we intend to keep 20% of bug, there, right? Spend the effort into developing new product, or to fix customers' urgent needs, right? Not to focus on the backlog, the issues, So because you understand that fixing that 20% while not yielding much of a business result, right?
Yeah.
As a technical person, you think, oh, you have to be perfectly designed, bug free and all those stuff, state of art. No, I mean, unless that has to bring you some result to it, right? Yeah. And I want to I just want to share something a little bit, for anyone listening who's entering the engineering field, right? When I first entering this engineering field, I thought the greatest engineer is the one can build things from scratch, end to end, the full stack. This is a best engineer, can bug free and all those things. But the greatest engineer, as I from the learn from experience, is based on the situation, come up with the best possible design. They
Yeah.
are the best engineer, a best designer or architect. It's because you're not getting best tuition all the. You're not gonna build us, software from scratch. Because in the past, so we have this 10, 20 years of legacy kind of a technology there, right? For a new engineer coming, it's like this is not acceptable. It's like why use this technology?
Yeah.
But do you want to every like a few years rewrite whole things? No, it doesn't make any business result, right? So yeah,
Too much effort for too little return. I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
no, nobody's gonna appreciate for you for it, and then you're gonna feel more frustrated than you were
Yeah,
feeling before. Yeah,
yeah. And I just one more thing is that I worked in the bank before. They
yeah,
use 70 years old technology, the
yeah.
COBOL, the black screen thing still.
The moment you said you worked in a bank, I knew what was coming. Yeah, what you're gonna say about the software, the banks use. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
they use horrible software. Okay, you should only try starting a startup when you're young.
No. Actually, MIT. MIT, I forgot, MIT or Harvard, one of the school. I had this. So
Mm.
they did a research, find out the best time as most people starting startup at age 41.
Oh, nice. Did they tell a reason, or what was the reason?
Your why became much clearer. You have a lot of financial responsibility, and the jobs are cutting it, and you know, job sometimes is not stable. You got the more clear because a lot of young kids, fresh out of college and all that stuff, right? They have no experience, and they know building business is just cool things, right?
Yeah, my friend was
Uh,
doing it, so so I thought, why not me too?
yeah, but because there's no like a, it's like a hobby, but not there's no like a tangible or there's a why.
Yeah,
But when you at age, you have a family, all those things, you have a lot of bills to pay and all that stuff. Like, you know what, this is not cutting it, and
yeah.
you want to get the financial, control your financial situation on your own head.
Maybe the other situation could be that you taken care of all of the basic needs, and you have enough savings there, or you have enough investments that they can take care of your all necessary bills and something like that, and now you can actually pursue what you wanted to do all your life. Or maybe the why is stronger than ever, because and a family is big part of it. Your family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when you're doing up founder, right? We look at who is our like target audience, right? An age range. I initially we just, even before drawing this our target audience, this building business persona. It's a 25 to 35. No, actually, it's this 40s. 40 is the one. 40 is the one. Like what you said, there's a, like, you got enough experience. You have deeper understanding about the problem, like the business problems, and but mostly is also, yeah, you have a little, bootstrapping money also, but mostly is your why became much clear.
Yeah.
When your motivation, so you can move mountain if you have the right motivation.
I think you'd also be more fearless at that age. You know.
Yeah, you have no option. That's why, like,
Yeah.
yeah, you be more fearless. Yes.
Yeah. Because you're not getting any younger at 40. Man, in some time, I've gotten to 40. In no time, it will be 50, and then of course at 50 your chances get more slim. I mean, they won't increase. I mean, so it's. I think at that time they would feel that this is the time. It's now or never now. You know.
I can show. I just found the article. I can show it to you. I can share it with you. You can just search for 41 age as start a business.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, I would want to read it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Why people would start the startups at it's best that they start the startup at 40, 41. Okay, and another one. You cannot scale a startup without raising millions of dollars. Scale, like
You cannot scale with a
raising
hundred
millions.
million. No, I think we talked about it. I mean, for some of them it's true, but I think mostly we should not put a blocker in our mind, right?
Yeah.
Everything is possible, especially we have the no code platform and all that stuff, right?
Right.
So even I thought taking some course in the past and all those, actually some kind of programs that they're getting a lot of money, without the code. They can, these people even sell this, they put together like product with this no code, on a no code platform and sold for a lot of money. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
also heard about one. I don't know if you're talking about the same one, and I'm sure you're not talking about the same one, but I did heard some two or three, two maybe two guys made a new startup out of a no code platform. They sold it for $1.5 million, something like that. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, of course, it's much less common and very rare compared to what people would build with real code and things like that.
yeah.
But again, it's not impossible. I mean, some People have
Yeah,
done it.
yeah. We have right now amazing, this stack of, this no code
Yeah,
services. You know,
resources are endless right now. You just really got to know what you want to do, and just go ahead. And yeah, resources are endless. Tools, resources. Yeah, there's no end to it. Right?
yeah, because I'm in the space of helping other entrepreneurs. Oh, that's why I in my answer I have a two purpose. One is share my opinion. Another one is I don't want people to have a blocker in their mind. This I have to raise money. So look, we have a very popular website called there's a book called Founders at Work.
Yeah, owners of I may have
Yeah, there's a lot of companies there. Actually, just start on the site. They are right now big system like Craigslist, one of them. Craigslist.
yeah.
I know it's not popular in maybe in
No, no, I know Craigslist. Yeah.
Asia, but here it's very popular. Simple, like a dumbest looking website. But it's very popular.
I mean, people at Craigslist would appreciate you saying, but they would not appreciate the comment you just made. The dumbest thing.
No, no, I think they acknowledging it also, and they said they want to keep it simple. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And again, this another question is about fundraising, but I just want to make it clear to people: you can only raise money if you're from a top Ivy League college. I mean, it is a pattern. I mean,
Yeah, and easier because the connection is important, right? Because uh because for example, when I mean, a lot of people even go to MBA class, not just getting MBA class, like
yeah,
CEOs
for
go
the
to
network.
MBA class, like for network, right? So,
Yeah.
the professor, somebody, can get some have intro, they got a quick access to it, so uh, I think that's one of the reasons, so.
I mean, it
And we
does
heard
help
about,
people, not say
yeah, we
not
have, we
help.
have so many stories about the people made it big without it's execution, about your ability to execute, uh,
But it does help being from
yes,
a
of course,
top.
that's why it opens up, makes it a lot easier. Yeah,
Yeah. Because in many cases, the VCs, the investors who are giving you money, they have also studied at that college or something like that. So I
yeah,
think
yeah,
it's
that's
more.
true. Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And we did talk about this particular question before. It says trusting yourself over what others say. Well, trusting yourself more than what others say.
Yes, yes, but I want to break it down a little bit that uh, when they say other, in my mind, I have two group of people. One
Okay.
is your customer, right?
Yeah, okay.
If customer feedback, trust the customer.
Yeah, yeah.
You can
Trust.
always
Yeah. It's,
listen to what
mm,
they're saying. This is super important. We don't. A lot of people don't. We don't listen.
mm,
Go with their own way, right? But understand their pain, right? What's their struggle. Sometimes you think, what, this should be done differently. I mean, why is it having a problem, right? But no, it is a problem, right? So in that sense, you have to listen to it. But in other people not involved
yeah.
with you in the business, trust yourself, because they have no clue what you have gone, what you went through, right? So, uh,
Yeah. You should launch as fast as possible.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
This
Without
is
putting any corners, though, like you mentioned before.
yeah, yes. Of course, it's like key things has to be there, right? So even though launching it, the measure has to be in place, right? You can't just say I'm launching it, just put it on the website. No, you have to know because you need every time is in the measure and the learn, right? What are you measuring, right? You have that have in place. Once the people launch, you just put on website and people coming and go. You have no clue,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, but
Major.
generally using a node code platform, right? Uh, Launch it. And I even have a book called Launch Your Startup in 7 Days. So launch it fast. Basically.
Okay. So I think we should start talking about Up Founders now. So, what
Mhm.
is the progress on it right now? The last time I saw it, it did.
Yes,
You were getting some users on it, testing the
yes.
platform.
So we have we have this step by step guide, all this, right? And we connecting as a mentor, all those things, because we have the content is very important to us, right? What we offering, because so we have this platform kind of ready, and we also have a few interests of some like some people want to launch their own mini acceleration program. That's why we even have a little B2B part of it. So what I'm saying is a founder can launch their own program, guys can provide the guidance, but we also some like other mentor or other like a small mini accelerators, they can launch their own program. Let's say
Using
we
the
focus
Up
on,
Founders part, like white labeling. You're saying, right?
yes, they can because let's say some people will say real estate, launch a real estate startup, or some real estate business, because up founder is, we say founders more like, founders as is towards any businesses, right? Our goal is we want to have a little push helping founder. Like eventually we want to make it the hub for founder to launch, launch their business, right? So I mean, in the future it's going to be all different kind of, helping a lot of for different kind of uh, founders to launch a startup, right? So, and if other people want to launch different kinds of hardware, you know, uh, like a healthcare, all the different kind of program, right? Why not, right? So that's why
Yeah.
we add that one too, So right now we're working on the content right now, So we have this, we have some, we have some content and some founder needed. We just release them to them. So, but to have a launch it to like a mass, I think we need a little more time, Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna take a few months. We can say.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And of
Yeah.
course, everything is, learning, learning, adjusting, and all that stuff, So yeah.
Improvising. I mean,
Yeah, we were learning a lot, even with like a few years we have. We are also kind of learning quite a bit, Yeah. So yes, that's why, like why we kind of launched it, but more invitation based, right? We can
yeah.
say,
Yeah.
what, let's hold on, let nobody in. We do it like 6 months, launch it. No, that's not good. Actually, we really started development in January. We got the people on February. You get
Yeah.
my point, right? So
I
it's
also received the invite. I think in second week or third week of Feb, and that's pretty
yes,
fast. By the way,
yeah,
for people who don't know. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I am done with all my questions. And anything you want to add in from Up Founders or something related to Up
Yes,
Founders?
yes. Yeah. For all those, I don't know your kind of your audience will be in what kind of range, uh, but if if you like you are a student in college, right?
Yeah.
In college, I know you don't have much why, much why, but you have a lot of time, you have a lot of resources. So launch startup there, you have a very little risk because a lot of
Yeah.
us we're wasting our time in college, right? In university, we're wasting our times, spending too much partying and all that stuff, right? Wasting the money. So you have a classmate who have different skills, right? Launch there, right? Because for you, everything is gained in the ahead.
Yeah.
Because after
Little to
getting a
lose.
job, once you get making like couple hundred K, just like a salary, then launching a startup will be, you have to really think about it, right? Does that really worth it, after because you have to overall you think about it right now. So okay, I have to give up this, do this. So it's but when you work in college, right? So even you have a job, it's like you work on minimum wage, like in the library and all that stuff, right? So
Research student or yeah, something like that.
yeah, you have a talent, and you have not much thing to lose. Launch it there,
And
right?
little to
Yeah.
lose and everything to gain. We could say.
Yes, and also for anyone, well, for anyone, let's say who got a job, who is you know, who's going to even thinking or had a dream, all about starting a startup, So I think again, I say don't waste your time in front of TV or social media too much, and give yourself 1 or 2 hours to do something more productive. I say build something on the side, to have your financial thing under your own control. So
It
and
may work not. It may not work immediately, but eventually, yeah, you'll learn a
yeah,
lot. And
exactly. So but you're gonna waste the time anyway, right? So
yeah,
why not do something about it? Yeah. And right now more than ever, there's so many ways business can start.
yeah, yeah.
There's a gazillion. I mean, even I have kind of a notion to keep list of my some ideas also. There's so many things you can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you feel like sometimes you feel like college is not required anymore. You can just get a car and start driving Uber, doing delivery, and there's so many ways to make money right now. So
I mean, that should have been a question because you mentioned it again. That is college really worth it now? I mean, you don't think?
I right now I still think because I have a kid, right? It's not in college age, but I still think he should go to college.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
learn something systematically because uh have some deeper knowledge. Even if a lot of people, there's a lot of boot camp teach people about computer science, all those things, right? They're not learning the thing deep enough. You know, one of this, the one I just I had a had a met and talked with them. The person is that he's also engineering background. He said he was able to start this payment system, because he has a so deep knowledge in the space,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, the kind of deeper knowledge, I can't think of any like other. I mean, you don't get it from like just like about 6 weeks of training, boot camp. Unless you can learn that kind of deep, So of course, it depends on everyone's everyone's like preferences. Just for making a living, you don't have to. Just for making a living, you don't have to go to college. Just for making a living, but I
Yeah.
think college
Absolutely.
sometimes is more
Especially in
more than that.
America.
Yeah, yeah. I
Especially in
mean,
America. You don't know.
so I know as in Pakistan, how many people actually who work part time and go to college? Maybe less. Right from where I'm from, either people study or work. There's no study and they do at the same time. No, here they're working, they're studying, and they work multiple jobs.
Yeah.
So that became very common. So here.
Absolutely. I mean, even high schoolers can get jobs where they can do very well with the amount of money they get paid. I
A
mean,
lot, yeah, a lot of
eighteen
people in
dollars an
Meta,
hour.
yeah, a
Now,
lot
I
of
mean,
people in Meta, good companies, yeah, high schooler too sometimes.
yeah,
It's okay about
yeah,
your skill, not the degree. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No
yeah.
specific skill, but um, anything of administrative nature. I mean, you can make a very good living with the high school education too. Yeah.
Yeah. Last comment,
Especially,
just so anyone.
you could say especially in America or only in America.
Sorry, huh?
I mean, the high schoolers, the amount of money the high schoolers can make. I mean,
Ah,
it's nothing like in they can make the amount they do in America.
yes, yes,
But
yes, yes, yes.
do you think it's exclusive to America? I mean, other parts of the world, you think? I know in Pakistan they cannot make a very good living without education, but
Yeah.
you think in
I
Europe?
mean, because I don't know about Europe, but what I'm saying is because the people you know have easy access to all cutting edge technology, right? Cutting edge technology, right? They can start really coding. My son started learn about coding, because just one of him in logical thinking. He started when he was 6. He's
Oh,
started.
wow.
There was some some learn about Python in 6. There was a kid version. Very intuitive way to teach about coding. Those kind of things like this. So I don't know anywhere else in the country they can have this kind of access. To some certain tools, resources. Because in my when I was in college, when I was studying computer science at that time, the kids who came like 4 years after me, the guy is super programmer because he just finished. He came from high school. I said, "When did you start coding?" He's 9 years old. Okay, so anything, right? So
What
anything
were you doing at 9 years old, Kaderjan?
I learned, I saw computer. I think maybe I was able to play computer when I was in high school, second year high school. I touched the computer.
I think me too. I was in maybe 14. I was 14 years old when I
Yeah,
first saw my first. It was a Pentium 2.
yeah,
Do you
yeah, yeah,
remember
yeah.
something like that?
Yes. I was playing with Q Basic, you know.
And
Yeah,
people just claiming, started coding at 7 or 8. I mean, I did. I think I didn't discover coding until 17 or 18. I don't know what it was. I mean, it didn't just cross my brain. How does this thing work, man?
yeah, exactly. You know, so and everything boils down to the time, right? So I think there's even talk about it. You can be spend 10,000 hours on something, you become expert, right? So it's time you're putting. You have enough time you're putting, you become expert. So if you start early, you become expert early, actually, right? So
And curiosity, time and curiosity.
yeah,
You gotta be curious about it. I mean, if you're not curious about something, no matter how much time you spend, you're gonna be average at that.
absolutely, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Everything is done from my side, and I just want to say I'm very thankful and grateful for this kind gesture of you. First that meeting, the first one we took a couple of months back, and now this one. I mean, I can't say thank you enough. I mean, I just
Yeah,
probably send you an email with type thousand thank you 1,000 times and just send it over to you to show my gratitude.
yeah, yeah. You know what? Yeah. Thanks for at least having hosting program like this to encouraging people to you know at least address some give them how it's like to be starting startup and all that stuff, right? So uh, I think again, it's really gonna pull you, help you to you can see what you're made of. What is the unless you're starting a business. So yeah, start it. Go for your dream. Don't have regret. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's just
well,
it's boiled down to that. Yeah, you
yeah,
don't want to have any regrets, in your work. Yeah, so
yeah.
might as
All
well
right.
do.
Yeah, thanks for inviting again.
Thanks.
So yeah, looking forward to contact you soon. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Khalida. Yeah,
Okay. Take
it's
care.
been a pleasure. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Bye bye.